The rehearsal dinner was perfect. String lights hung over the garden patio of the country club. 60 of our closest friends and family laughing, celebrating. In 48 hours, I was going to marry the love of my life. My fiance, Ryan, was giving a toast, talking about how he knew I was the one from our first date, how he couldn't wait to spend forever with me. Everyone was smiling, glasses raised. That's when the doors opened. A woman walked in. Blonde, late 20s, very, very pregnant, like about to pop pregnant. The room went silent. Ryan's face drained of all color. She walked straight up to our table, looked at me, then looked at Ryan. "Hi, babe," she said. Her voice was shaking. "We need to talk." My mom stood up. "Excuse me, this is a private event. Who are you?" The woman's eyes filled with tears. "I'm Melissa, Ryan's girlfriend." I actually laughed. It was so absurd. "Ex-girlfriend, you mean? Ryan, who is this?" Ryan couldn't speak. He just sat there, frozen, staring at her stomach. Melissa put her hand on her belly. "I'm not his ex. We've been together for 3 years. And this baby is his. I'm due in 2 weeks." The room erupted, people gasping. My dad stood up furious. My bridesmaids rushed to my side. I looked at Ryan. "Tell her she's crazy. Tell everyone she's lying." He opened his mouth, closed it, then whispered, "Sarah, I can explain." My world tilted. That was an admission. That wasn't a denial. Melissa pulled out her phone, her hands trembling. "I didn't know about you until last week. I found the wedding invitation in his car. I thought it was for a friend's wedding. But then I saw his name, as the groom." She held up her phone. Photos of her and Ryan, at restaurants, on vacation, in bed together. Recent photos. Photos with timestamps from last month, last week, 3 days ago. "I'm so sorry," she said to me, crying now. "I didn't know. He told me he was traveling for work, that he was a consultant and had to be away a lot. I never suspected." My maid of honor, Jessica, grabbed the phone, started scrolling. Her face went white. "Sarah, some of these are from places Ryan told you he was going with his college friends." I felt like I was going to throw up. Ryan finally stood up. "This isn't what it looks like." My father got in his face. "Then what the hell is it, son?" "I made a mistake," Ryan stammered. "Melissa and I dated years ago. We reconnected last year, and things got complicated. But I love Sarah. I'm marrying Sarah." Melissa's voice rose. "A mistake? A mistake? You told me you loved me. You were at my last ultrasound 2 weeks ago. You helped me pick out a crib." I couldn't breathe. This couldn't be real. My brother Marcus pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the police to escort her out." "No," I said. My voice sounded strange, distant. "I want to hear this. Melissa, sit down." Everyone stared at me like I'd lost my mind. Maybe I had. Melissa sat, crying, rubbing her stomach. I sat across from her. Ryan tried to sit next to me, but my father physically blocked him. "Tell me everything," I said, "from the beginning." And she did. They'd dated briefly in college, reconnected at a mutual friend's party 3 years ago, started seeing each other casually. Then it got serious. He'd rented her an apartment across town, told her he traveled for work, which explained why he couldn't always stay over. "He was at my place 3 nights a week," she said. "The nights he told you he had late meetings or guys' nights." My stomach turned. I thought about all those nights. How he'd come home smelling like cologne I didn't recognize. How I joked that he must be wearing samples from the airport. "When did you find out you were pregnant?" I asked. 6 months ago. He seemed happy, scared but happy. He said we'd figure it out together." 6 months ago. Right when we'd sent out our save the dates, Jessica was scrolling through Melissa's phone, tears in her eyes. "Sarah, there are texts here from last week. He's texting her, 'I love you and can't wait to meet our daughter.'" Our daughter. He was having a daughter with someone else. Ryan finally spoke, his voice desperate. "Sarah, please, let me explain in private. This is between us." I looked at him, really looked at him. This man I'd been with for 4 years. Who proposed on a beach in Maui? Who cried when I said yes? Who'd spent the last year planning this wedding with me? "How?" I asked simply. "How did you manage this?" He swallowed hard. "I kept my lives separate. You never questioned my work schedule. She never questioned my travel. It just worked." "Until it didn't," Melissa said bitterly. "Until I found that wedding invitation and realized my entire life was a lie." My mom was crying. My bridesmaids were surrounding me like a protective wall. My dad looked like he wanted to murder Ryan. "The wedding's in 2 days," I said, my voice hollow. "We have 200 guests coming. A venue, a caterer, a band." Ryan grabbed my hand. I yanked it away. "We can still do this, Sarah. I'll end things with Melissa. I'll take care of the baby financially, but I want to marry you. I love you." Melissa let out a sob. I stood up. My legs were shaking. "Everyone go home. The rehearsal dinner is over." "Sarah," Ryan started. "Get away from me," I said. "I need to think." That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house, staring at my wedding dress hanging on the closet door. $20,000. Vera Wang, the dress of my dreams, for a wedding that might not happen. Jessica and my other bridesmaids staged an intervention at 2 a.m. They showed up with wine and ice cream. "Tell us what you're thinking," Jessica said. "I don't know, I can't think, this doesn't feel real." "Do you want to marry him?" my other bridesmaid Amanda asked. "I don't know, I did, yesterday I did. But was any of it real? How can I marry someone who's been living a double life?" My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Ryan calling, texting, begging to talk. Then a text from a number I didn't recognize. "This is Melissa. I know you don't owe me anything, but can we talk? Just us. No Ryan. I think you deserve to know everything." Against everyone's advice, I agreed to meet her the next morning at a coffee shop. She looked exhausted. Her eyes were swollen from crying. "Thank you for meeting me," she said. "I don't know why I'm here," I admitted. "Because you want the truth, and Ryan will never give it to you." She pulled out a folder. Inside were bank statements, apartment lease documents, ultrasound photos, evidence of their entire relationship. "He put the apartment in both our names 6 months ago," she said. "Said he wanted me to feel secure. For the baby." I looked at the lease. His signature, right next to hers. "He was going to marry you and come home to me and our daughter," Melissa continued. "He had it all planned out. More work travel, longer hours. He probably thought he could pull it off for years." "Why are you showing me this?" I asked. She looked at me with hollow eyes. "Because I loved him too, and he destroyed both of us. I'm not asking you to forgive him. I'm asking you to walk away. Because if you marry him, he'll do this again. To you, to me, to someone else." We sat in silence for a long moment. "What are you going to do?" I asked. "About the baby?" "Raise her alone, I guess. I don't want him in our lives anymore. I can't trust anything he says." "Does he know the baby's his? For sure?" She nodded. "We can do a paternity test if you want proof, but yes, she's his." I went home and called Ryan. Told him to meet me at the venue. He showed up looking like he hadn't slept either. "Sarah, thank God. I love you so much. We can get past this." "I met with Melissa this morning," I said. His face fell. "She showed me everything, the apartment lease, the bank accounts, the ultrasounds you attended, the texts about baby names." "Sarah, I need you to be honest with me about one thing. Just one. And I'll know if you're lying. Were you planning to stay with both of us? After the wedding?" He looked at the ground. That was answer enough. "You were," I whispered. "You were going to marry me and keep her as your secret family." I didn't know what to do, he said, his voice breaking. I love you both. I couldn't choose. So you chose to lie to us both. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But we can fix this. Therapy, counseling, whatever you need. I looked at the man I thought I'd spend my life with, and I felt nothing. The love was gone, replaced by disgust and pity. The wedding is canceled, I said. No, Sarah, please. I'll handle telling the guests. You handle returning the gifts. We're done. You'll regret this, he said, anger flashing in his eyes. You're throwing away 4 years over one mistake. One mistake? I laughed bitterly. You had a whole other relationship, a baby. You rented an apartment with her. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. Multiple choices every single day for 3 years. I walked away. He tried to follow, but my brother appeared out of nowhere and blocked him. The next day should have been my wedding day. Instead, I spent it with my family, canceling everything we could, eating cake that was supposed to be for the reception, and crying in my mom's arms. My dad had called every guest personally. Most were supportive, some were gossipy. A few said I was overreacting. 2 weeks later, Melissa had her baby, a girl. She sent me one text. She's beautiful and we're better off without him. I agreed. Ryan tried to contact me for months, apologizing, begging, then angry, then desperate. I blocked him on everything. I found out through mutual friends that he tried to get back together with Melissa. She refused. He's now paying child support and seeing his daughter every other weekend. As for me, it took a year to feel normal again, to trust again, to believe that not every man was hiding a secret life. I'm dating someone new now, someone who introduced me to his family on our 3rd date, someone whose phone isn't locked with a passcode, someone who doesn't have mysterious work trips. I still have the wedding dress. I can't bring myself to sell it. Maybe one day I will. Or maybe it'll stay in my closet as a reminder that sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you is actually the best thing. Because I didn't marry a liar. I didn't spend my life wondering when the other shoe would drop. I didn't become the wife who got cheated on for decades. I dodged a bullet, a Ryan-shaped bullet. And Melissa? We're not friends exactly, but we text sometimes, check in. 2 women who love the same lying man and both chose ourselves instead. Some weddings get canceled, some hearts get broken, but some disasters are actually disguises for the best decisions you'll ever make. Walking away was mine.